is your friendly guide. Code design and build, watch it amplify. Wearables, emotes, architecture too. Chrono T shows the fun in all you can do. Decentraland is waving, the future's so bright. Let's demystify it together tonight.
Hello, welcome to Decentraland Demystified After Dark. So this is going to be a succinct, to the point video showing how to use Decentraland Studio repository example scenes for your own projects, easily using Claude to work out the details of the code and give you something that will work, that you can kind of refine from there, or go back and use Claude to help you refine that. So whenever you go to the Decentraland.org website, you'll see a Create tab. Click, hover over that, and then it'll show you a link for Decentraland Studios, and that's where we are here. So once you're here at studios.decentraland.org, click on Resources, and you will see all these different example scenes. This one's about dialogue, like all different kinds of things. You got, see, we're gonna click on a little more. You've got arcade cabinets, giveaways, NFT museums, a game, a really cool like portal type game, Redscape. The Infinity engine used by Vroomway. So this makes a small parcel, or this makes a parcel or small estate, or any estate, pretty much as large as you want it to be by moving the scene around the players. This is really cool stuff. Unbelievably powerful, but also a little bit, confusing, or definitely confusing and complicated. Way too complicated for me to jump in there and understand what's going on. And that's why I'm making this video, is because, I don't know how to code. But I'm learning how to code by doing, by going through these things, but I don't need to know how to code. But being familiar with it is helpful. And it's just something you'll get more familiar with by doing this. It's super easy. It's super easy. Just don't worry about it. So you got claim, reward stuff, all this different kinds of stuff. I'm interested in looking for something that will, it's like serverless multiplayer and kind of simple, so that I can show you. And yeah, so we have the land flipper P2P, and so it says that whenever the avatar walks over the tiles, then it'll change colors. And it is serverless multiplayer. So I think it's that Michael Jackson video called Bad, where he walks, and whenever he walks, the tiles change from black to bright white, which is good for us because Decentraland's got bloom, so we'll be able to kind of get that effect. But also I'm interested in that serverless multiplayer. So what I'm going to do is click on View Code, and you'll see all of these folders and these little files. Don't worry about any of this stuff. We're going to jump into VS Code real quick, and I'll show you how to download that and install Decentraland. It's super easy. Don't worry about it. VS Code will, and I say super easy. I mean you don't have to do anything but hit a few buttons. And VS Code actually produces all of these files for you. So you really only need to know a little bit about the scene JSON, because that it has if you have a scene or a parcel, that's your coordinates. You put the coordinates in there for that. So anyway, the SRC folder is the folder that actually has all of the code that a scene uses. And we've got all of these different files. So this particular scene uses all of these different files separately, or they use these separate files together, to run the scene. What we want to do is let's jump into Claude real quick. So in Claude, we noticed that there's a limit of 5 files, so you can't upload more than 5 files. So what we can do is we can actually So what I'm going to do is, this is a file that, this is just a blank file. It's a land flipper, it's a text file. So this is where I'm going to copy all of that code to. So there's nothing, this is a blank file. And so what I'm going to do is click on components and highlight. Actually, what I'm going to do is just hit Control A and Control V to paste it. And so what I'm going to do is just copy each one of these into one text file. So index, and only render scene. Then layer marker. Systems. Also, I'm saying this out loud so I don't forget. I've already done this once and I forgot which one I was on. UI. And utilities folder. Oops. Paste and then save. So Control S is save on that. Okay, great. So now what we've got is we have got all of these files saved into one file right there, one text file. So this has got all of those separate TypeScript files into one text file there. So next thing we want to do is we want to install visual code. And you know, all of these steps, they seem really intimidating, but just turn off that part of your brain and just download visual code. So you just Google visual code, and you just want to download it to Windows, or I guess I'm sure it's available for other platforms too, other OSs. And I've already got it installed, so I don't need to go through that. But what I will do is I'll show you how to download Decentraland. So I've got Decentraland SDK7 here, and this is normally not there. So to get that, go to extensions and you type in Decentraland. See, I need to spell it out. And so you will download the SDK7 editor. So you click on that and you will just install it. I've already got it installed, so I don't have to worry about that. And so once you do that, you'll end up with this, let's see, you'll end up with this window. However, what I want to do is, this folder is actually, whenever I jumped into it, you won't see this. What you'll do is you'll click on File, Open Folder, and you will just create I'll call this episode 4 of Decentraland Demystified After Dark. And so this is a blank folder. So you'll select the folder, and then you click on Decentraland. Now this is what it'll look like. So what you want to do is once you get in here, once you have Decentraland installed, you go to File, open folder, and then just make an empty folder. Whenever you click back on your Decentraland Editor SDK7, it'll say, oh, this folder is empty. Let's go ahead and make a project. So then we go create project, and these are all example projects. What we're going to do is we're going to create a standard project. And so down here at the bottom right, it's producing all of those files. I'm going to move my OBS back over here. Okay, now it's installing dependencies. So these are all of those files that we were looking at earlier on the Decentraland Studio repository that we don't need to worry about. Most of them we don't need to worry about. And so once this finishes, it's going to give us a default scene and some default files. That's standard project, and it's kind of set up to help. We can take a look at that scene real quick. So whenever you install Visual Code and then you open up a blank folder and you create a standard project, this is the standard project that it creates. So it's a bunch of spinning cubes. It's pretty cool. They have colliders so you can jump on them and all different kinds of stuff. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and close this preview. And we're going to delete all of those files that made up that example scene, because we don't want to use that scene. We want to make our own scene based on the Flipperland with the multiplayer server or the serverless multiplayer. And keep in mind, you can go to all of those other examples. There's like more than 200 examples. Just peruse, figure out. You can, practice this and piece together whatever technologies you want your scene to have, and have Claude help you. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to delete all of the things that we don't need. So we actually need to delete all of these. Whenever you click on your SRC folder, these TS files, the TS stands for TypeScript. And so what we're going to do is we're going to delete all of these except for the index file. The index file is kind of the main file kind of the main file, sort of. So I highlighted those and I deleted, removed the recycling bin. And then I'm going to go into index. Now I'm getting an error, and that's because it's referencing the systems folder that I just deleted and the UI folder or file that I just deleted. But what I want to do is delete all of this. There we go. So now this right here is, and I'm going to hit Control-S to save. There we go. So right now this folder is ready to add code. So I mean, you can just, if you know how to code, you just start coding, start typing it in. So, but what we are going to do is we've got our Claude here. And we have got our text file. Let's see, we want Claude. There we go, just like that. And so what we are going to do is we're going to copy this reference code right there. And let's see here. I actually wrote a prompt earlier, and I'm going to use that prompt because I don't want to. Okay, so this is the prompt I used. So you want to be as kind of descriptive as possible. So use the attached file of example code to create a Decentraland SDK scene. And I'm going to change these black tiles to 0.8 meters. Maybe 75 would be better. Yeah, let's just do don't know. I think I'm actually going to do 85 because I did 0.5 and I thought they were kind of small earlier. So use the attached file to make an example code to create a Decentraland SDK scene with 0.85 meter black tiles. And when you walk on them, they turn bright white while the avatar is standing on the tile, and goes black when the avatar is not standing on the tile. So being descriptive like that is important. Otherwise, you may have a scene, it may produce a scene where the avatar steps on it, turns bright white, and then it stays white. So we wanted to go back to black whenever the avatar walks off of it. So we've said that. And then also, this must be a serverless multiplayer scene. And it knows how to do it because it's got that information right there. So let's... So it's referencing all of those files. Where's my code? Let's see. There we go. So that was kind of strange. But yeah, so it produced this code, and what it did is it told us, it's telling us the files that we need to put this information in. So first off is I'm gonna copy these. I'm gonna copy all of this, and I am going to just make myself a So this is the reference code, and I'm going to call this Claude code version 1. Actually, with these codes, it's good to do 001. And I am just going to paste all of this in there, Control S to save it. And that's my own little backup, so that's fine. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and just use this to copy directly into SDK7. So let's see here. There we go. Okay, good. So here we've got our file, and I'll just go ahead and delete this for now. I mean, we're gonna recreate it here in a second, but let's just start from the beginning. So there's no files in SRC. I mean, no TypeScript files. We're gonna right click on SRC, new file, and we're gonna make this components.ts. And these file names need to be spelled correct. So you could copy that over. That's not really a bad idea. There we go. Anyway, stuff like that kind of reduces error. So then what I'm gonna do is just copy this, Control V, and save it. And then the next one is factory TS. So new file, Control V factory.ts. And for this factory TS, what we're gonna need is to copy all of this up to factory TS. There we go, boom. And Control S for save. If we had an error here, then it would point up there, error in effect. So the fact that we don't have any errors is good. If you do end up having errors, you can always go back down to Claude and say, hey, I'm receiving an error for for whatever's turning red. Okay, so then I'm going to do Control S for save. And let's go src. Now let's make the next one, which is going to be folder or systems. So new file, Control V, systems.ts. There we go. And we copy this over. And Control S to save. And it looks like the last is going to be index.ts. So just for the naming, to make this foolproof, gonna right click new file, Control V, .ts. And then we are going to just highlight all of this, copy and paste, and then save. You want to make sure you're saving each one of these. I'll just go back and just Control S all of these files to make sure. So if you come up with some strange errors in doing this, as long as you don't have any errors appear, you should be good, but make sure that these are spelled correctly and make sure that you've saved them all. Okay, cool. So, I mean, actually, that's it. That's it. So the only thing we need to do now is go test it. So we click, we were up here in our file system. We were adding these. Now we go back down to our Decentraland SDK7 editor and run scene. And this is the moment of truth. So let's see what happens. Okay, so look at this. We've got it. Yeah. So there you go. You go to, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, this is so powerful. And just with giving yourself some time, take a look. Take a look. How many does it say how many are here? 133 resources. I mean, it's crazy. And a lot of these, you can try it now. And so it'll actually pull up the scene. Okay, we're not gonna get into that at the moment because we may ask for some information or something, but yeah, but you can try out these codes, try out these templates, and there you go. This is Pixel Mural. I haven't even seen this before. I remember seeing this in a scene though once. So yeah, there you go. There you go. So download VS Code, find the Decentraland Editor SDK7 extension, create an empty folder, create a new folder, go to that new folder, open that empty folder that you create, and then start a new project, and then delete those files that come with it. Go find yourself a nice example scene that you want to try out. I'll have to try this mural one out. That looks pretty cool. And then just copy all of these into one text file. Go to Claude. I mean, it's so easy. It's so fun. Like, you could just make a hobby out of doing this. It's so crazy. And then just copy in your code just like that. And then just follow, just see what it says, make your own, files. And now keep in mind that some of these things may require like an API, so I mean, there may be a server. Some of these may require that you have access to a server. So that's why I chose the serverless multiplayer That way I can make a scene that everybody can experience. So according to this, like, you know, anybody that comes into this scene will be able to see that I'm standing here and that is lit up. And then I can actually go back in and revise that white so it's like a real bright bloom and all of that. But we're not gonna get into that right now. So, alrighty, I hope this has helped you out, and good night. It's getting late, so I better head to bed. Alright, much love y'all. Take care, bye-bye, and happy building.